Hi everyone, I'm Clem. Welcome or welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about my most anticipated releases for the second half of the year. You want, by the way, I don't know why you would want to watch it now, but I had done a video with my most anticipated releases for the first half of the year. I'm going to link it here if you're interested. But now we're going to talk about the books that are coming out from July till the end of the year. So when you compare it with the first half of the year, I don't have that much books that I'm waiting for in this part of the year. I don't know why. It's really weird. But still, I picked 7 books that I want to talk about, so let's get right into them. The first book I'm going to mention is Hello From There by Chandler Baker. So this book is about the crisis we're going through this year and last year, so it's about COVID-19. And before you run away and tell me, why would you want to read something about, like, the pandemic? This book actually sounds good because I feel like it's something everyone can see themselves into. So you're following two teenagers, so Max and Jonah, and they meet in a grocery store just before California goes into lockdown. So they're going to meet, but they will not be able to see each other. And so they're going to talk and I think become friends or maybe more through other ways than talking and seeing each other. But also Jonah is working at the grocery store, and so his life is about to change because of the pandemic. And Max, or it's the contrary, and Max is going to have a problem with a job, and Jonah is suffering from anxiety, and so the pandemic is going to make everything worse. And basically you're going to follow their life throughout this pandemic, and I feel it's interesting. I mean, it was sure that someone was going to make a book about this, and this sounds actually great, so I think I'm going to give it a try. This book actually comes out on the 7th of September. The next book is The Corpse Bride by Heather Ehrman, and is coming out on the 14th of September. In this book, you're following Molly, and Molly lives in Philadelphia in the 1850s, and she's an orphan, and one day when she becomes an orphan, her aunt decides to take her, but she never met her aunt, so she doesn't really think she's real. But she realizes that actually her aunt is real and that she's super wealthy. And there is something weird about her aunt, and Molly is going to discover that actually her aunt is earning money by stealing corpses in cemeteries and selling them to medical students to make experiments. And so the aunt is going to teach Molly how to do this, how to steal thumbs and graves. And it sounds super interesting. And also Molly is going to do that at night, and so during the day she's exploring the mansion, the manor of her aunt, and she's going to discover that there is a weird anatomy lessons happening in the church, in the garden, like the park of the estate, and she wants to be part of it because, I don't know, she thinks it's interesting. And that's basically all I know. I know that in order to enter the anatomy lessons, she has to do something, and there is also a murderer in the city. I don't know, it is described as a historical thriller, and I'm so into it, and I don't know, I think it's a little spooky, and I could use that for my October TBR. The next book is You've Reached Sam, and this is coming out on the 2nd of November. So this is a contemporary, and you're following Julie, and Julie had all a future plan. She wanted to move in a small town with a boyfriend, go to university together, and spend the summer together in Japan. But then Julie's boyfriend died, Sam. And so Julie is heartbroken, and she doesn't want to go to the funeral. She doesn't go. She also doesn't talk to anyone. She doesn't want to see anything, to do anything or to see anyone, so she's closing up on herself. But one day she sees a weird message that Sam left in a yearbook, and so she's going to call him just to hear his voice in his voicemail. But actually Sam is going to pick up and they're going to be able to talk. So Julie is given the opportunity to say goodbye to Sam one last time, and they keep on calling each other, but Julie is torn between telling the truth to Sam's family because she sees them struggling and having a hard time dealing with the death of Sam, or keeping this to herself so she can say goodbye and have Sam just for herself. That's basically all I know about this book, but this sounds super interesting. It reminds me of a book I've read last year, which was Landline by Rainbow Rowell, where you also have this thing of magical phone, where the main character could call her husband in the past in order to fix their couple and their marriage. It was super interesting. I really love this trope of like calling someone who you can't call, and I loved it, so I'm really interested by this one. Next we have How Violent Ends by Chloe Gong, and this is coming out on the 16th of November, and this is the conclusion and second book in the These Violent Delights duology. So if you don't know what this is a duology set in Shanghai in the 1920s, and this is a retelling of Romeo and Juliet. So you're following Juliet, and she's part of the Scarlet Gang, and on the other side you have Roma, and he's part of the Montagov gang. And Juliet is Chinese, and she's in Shanghai at a time where everyone was coming to Shanghai in order to like do business and have a place in this very important place. And Roma is a Russian, and he came here after the Russian Revolution. And so there are two gangs, and they're fighting for Shanghai and like power. And the thing is that in the first one, Juliet and Roma already dated like way back, and at the beginning of the book Juliet just came home from studying in the United States, and so they're no longer together and they hate each other, and you're going to understand why. But they have to work together because there is a disease spreading through the city, killing everyone, like it makes people go crazy and they rip their own throat, and so they're going to work together in order to stop it. It was really great. I read it this year. I loved it. It was amazing. I love a good Romeo and Juliet retelling, so I'm super excited for this one, especially after the last pages in the first book, like too many cliffhangers, and I need to know what will happen. Next we have Curses by Lish McBride, and this is coming out on the 20th of July, and this is a Beauty and the Beast retelling. You're following Merit, and Merit has been turned into a beast when she refused to marry a prince, and she will stay a beast unless she accepts to marry a prince her mom will have chosen for her before her 18th birthday. And on the other side you have Tevin, and Tevin has always been a pawn in his parents, for his parents, because he's the most beautiful boy in his family, and so he has been used in order to tempt young girls on who are going to get married to get money in exchange, like really weird. But at some point, the mother of Tevin is having a problem with the beast, and so in order to pay the debt, Tevin is going to be sent to live with the beast. And so the beast, so Merit and Tevin, are going to work together in order to find the best match for Merit, so she doesn't have to be a beast forever. And of course, you know the story of Beauty and the Beast. They're going to ask themselves if maybe Tevin is the one, and that's it. I don't know. I've never read a retelling of Beauty and the Beast, and I do not want to talk about ACOTAR because I've read the first one, and yeah, let's not talk about that. So I'm really interested to see what it will be. Don't think I'm going to buy it. I think I'm going to wait for it to be unscribed to read it because it sounds fun, and I don't know, it's a little different from what I've read. Next we have All of Us Villain by Amanda Foody and Christine Lynn Herman, and this is coming out on the 9th of November. So this is the first book they co-written, and I'm super excited about this because it looks a lot like Hunger Games. So basically it's happening in a city where every generation 7 families are going to send one of their champions, so one one member of their families to fight in duel to death, like just like the Hunger Games. And the winner awards his family with the right to control the city magic, and this is said to be the most powerful resource in the world. So basically, the family who wins the tournament is going to have a control of the city for till the next game, I guess. And so every year the same family has been winning, but this year all the champions have the chance to win. You don't really know why, but you feel like there is something that's happening. I don't know. It sounds so good, so good. I love Hunger Games. It's one of my favorite series of all time. So reading something that looks like it, but this time it's not winners but villains who are fighting. I love it. I want it. I feel it's going to be like so good. I mean, people are going to like trick other people. There's going to be a lot of blood, a lot of murder, betrayal, all of that. I can't wait. And last but not least, we have the Excalibur Curse by Kirsten White, and this is coming out on the 7th of December. And let's be honest, this is my most anticipated releases for the second part of the year, because this is the last book in the Camelot Rising trilogy, and I've been obsessed with this trilogy since I first read it last year. It's amazing. It's an Arthurian legend retelling, and you're following Guinevere, except Guinevere is not Guinevere. She's a changeling who took the appearance of Guinevere in order to protect Arthur from all the dangers he has around him. It's so good, so good. I can't wait for the last one. I hope it's going to be as good as the two other. I don't even want to read what it's about. I want to go in this book completely blind and enjoy it, even though I have to wait like forever to have it. But I'm super excited. So yeah, everyone, that's it for my most anticipated releases for the second half of the year. Please tell me in the comments down below what you're waiting for the second half of the year, because I need recommendations. Like, I need to know what's happening in this second half of the year, because I don't have that much book I'm waiting for, so I need you. Anyway, I will see you next time. Bye, everyone.